fight like a roaring fight, crypto and dreams under stadium lights, sweat and fire, hearts ignite. Even sports will fade, but with the Ginch we play.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday. It is November
Scores
5th.
collide as the riot life tonight.
We're got 5 weeks left of college football, and we passed the halfway point in the NFL. What a depressing when you think about it. But college football, college basketball is going to be revving up. NHL is in full swing. The NBA is in full swing. Thanks to the guys. I didn't think he'd be on till 7:30, but he's on now. Let's bring him on. Good friend of the show, Jacob CHRISTNER. Jacob, thanks for coming on. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. It's like definitely not the Philly guy, but I can be just as off the wall.
Thanks for joining. Hey, look, let's talk about the Bears, man. There's some you have to be a little bit pleasantly surprised. They're 5-3 at this point in the season.
Yeah, I am, and it's like one of the things is I mean, you already know. I know where you're going with, but I'm gonna bring up Ben Johnson first. That game with just like just the game with the Bengals. I mean, just thinking of this for a second, just the play that they did. They did a straight snap to Komet, who threw a ball to Adunza, and it basically got taken back by a penalty. They do a straight shot to Monangai. They do a snap to Caleb, who goes to who snaps it to Bajent, who throws it to Caleb for 20. It's one of those things where I've been looking for this for so long. Absolutely, positively so long. I have been. And it's because the Bears have been so boring.
Mm-hmm.
They've been so boring and so... And, just like the 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Now it's 1.5 yards in a cloud of dust. It's... But the boy, Ben Johnson's trying some things. And that's really nice. And I am pleasantly surprised with Caleb a little bit. He's tougher than I thought with those stupid painted nails, but it's but the thing is he's lasting. He's lasting, and he's had 27 straight games now. So I can't complain about that part. I wish he would act more like a man without the stupid nails, but he's doing. But everybody keeps telling me it's this new era. I don't get it, but they're winning. I'd rather win first,
Do you think when Swift comes back that Johnson's going to use both Monangai and Swift?
Yeah, they were doing it already. They were doing it already. It was Monangai is really, really cool, but it's like, see, Monangai and Swift are more likely to be Sonic and Knuckles than Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle. Mm-hmm. It's just it's done when you have when you have Rico and Chuba, it's basically two of the same thing. It's the same type of runner. It's not with Swift and Monangai, and it's like, and I think those two can really have fun. Plus the fact one's better at pass catching, one's better at running. Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of different options.
Yeah, look, Packers are 5-2-1.
Yeah,
Lions and Bears are 5-3. And the Vikings are 4-4, and toughest division in football right now. Look, anything can happen, man. You look at the Bears' rest of their schedule. They play the Giants at home.
Well, that is going to be a Bears win. That is going to be a Bears win. It's like they're not having to fight. They're not having to fight. I'm trying to think. Scatterboo, not having to fight Scatterboo. Dart's on his own, and I'm going to say this other thing also. I'm really meaning this. I got all over Caleb for his crying, and I'm going to continue to stick with that. So if I got on Caleb for his crying, I'm going to get on Dart for his crying. He's done it twice. I understand Scatterboo. That's his buddy. But it's another when you lose. It's like, at some point, it's kind of like, it is kind of like when you are the old school guy from the old prairie days or the farmers or whatever. Things are going to hell. You've lost your crop. You do whatever. Here's the thing. Your daughters or your sons don't need to see you with a bunch of tears all the time. We don't need the feelings all the time. They got to see you take charge.
They play they're at the Vikings after the Giants. So,
right. Well,
Big divisional game, obviously. I mean, I can just go Steelers, and they're at the Packers. I'm sorry, at the Eagles. That'll be tough. At the Packers, tough. Home against the Browns, easy, winnable. Home against the Packers, we all know what happens when the Packers and the Bears get together. At the 49ers,
it's been the Packers. Other than the third string team, it's been the Packers for the last 30 years.
I mean, it's not an easy back head in the schedule, but look, anything can happen. As long as Caleb doesn't turn the ball over, they use Swift from a young guy. Roma Dunze continues to play like he does, and Colston Loveland's coming around.
Well, and that's the big thing. Well, one of the things also is I want to start seeing more of the type of play, the plays that they've been doing. It's something different all the time. I love that. I love that idea, and it's like, you know, those plays that I just saw. That is what Kyle Shanahan needed to do when Brock Purdy went down 2 years ago in the NFC title game. He needed to do things like using. I mean, he's the guru. Don't get that wrong, but he needed to use. Do things like what Dick used to do with Peyton, and you put him in quarterback position if he would have to do it, or put it in. I mean, they need to do those things. Get at the idea. He basically handed off for the whole game. I mean, it's the same way Mike McDaniel does. Mike McDaniel does that same crap. When everybody, his team is gone and stuff like that, he doesn't trust. He just hands off. He doesn't show any gurus aspects. And the things that Ben Johnson was doing, what it showed is if Tyson Bagent has to come to the game, he can do it with him too. And it's like you need to be able to do it with everybody. And I mean, Sean McDermott on the Buffalo, he can do it with anybody. He can move the ball. I mean, earlier this year, third game, Josh Allen went down for about 2 or 3 plays. There was Trubisky out there, first play, 32-yard throw, an absolute seed. And it's like, that's 55 starts. That's 55 career starts right there. It's like he knows the action, he knows the playbook. It's not saying you're going to be any better than Allen, because he sure isn't. But I'm saying you need that's the one thing a lot of teams don't have. They're just looking for a warm body all the time. You need to get somebody that can get in there and you just go straight in. Yeah. It's like, I mean, remember this about Tomlin. People get all over Tomlin because he doesn't win playoffs, and he doesn't. But here's the thing. He has 9 career wins with third string quarterbacks. It's way more than most of all time. It's not even close. And he is pretty much the king of next up.
No, I would just like to see the Bears, as long as Williams doesn't turn it over. He plays within himself. He doesn't try to do too much. Look, the Bears have something cooking. They're 5-3. Look, I didn't think they'd be 5-3 halfway.
Oh, I didn't either. Well, see, I wanted that game badly this time. You know why? You know the reason I wanted it so much more. It's because it is around this time, the last 3 years, where it starts to fall apart, even regardless. It's something stupid, and then they've lost 10 in a row, a couple different years in a row, 14 straight, going from the year before to that, and then to 10 last year. And I'm like, if they would have lost this game after that kind of thing, all that kind of stuff, I had no question in my mind it was going to be another 10 losses in a row. It was going to be another. I mean, it's like I didn't have any proof that Caleb could come back from that, but he sure did.
Yeah. Big win for them. And Cincinnati stinks. By the way, their defense is horrible.
Well, I can say this. I loved seeing Flacco on the sideline. I really did. I loved seeing that on the sideline. He just looked like Rocky. He looked like that old – when he took his helmet off after that last drive, he just looked like an old, beat-up I mean, old and he looked like an old, beat-up warrior, that is just like, oh.
Yeah, I don't understand how Zach Taylor still has a job. I really don't.
I think that and you have a cheap owner, and I think that unbelievable Super Bowl they got to kept him around too long. But but Flacco, oh my Lord, it's like I said, he's gonna. It's like Cincy and probably 2019 in 2023 in Cleveland, he's gonna be a hero of some type. It's just because he's one of the only old quarterbacks that look good.
Right. Yeah.
Because Rodgers is basically just bubble screening and maybe a couple slants. He does go long once in a blue moon, but he really gets tired. He shows it.
Let's continue with you, Chicago guy. Let's talk about your Bulls. I know it's early in the season. They're 6-1, but they're playing well. Looks like they've got good chemistry. I didn't think they'd be 6-1 through the first 7 games.
Well, no one thought that because they've been a normal 39 win team. But
Right.
this is what, remember what I said to you the last time about Billy Donovan? I
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, dude, you want to replace Billy Donovan? I say this to the fans. You want to replace Billy Donovan? Okay. Is Mike Malone there? Did you get Monty Williams? Monty Williams had a tough time with Detroit, but he also lost his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, Monty Williams is an exceptional coach. And I mean, do you have anybody waiting that's better? Obviously not, because Donovan's still around. And that's all I'm saying is, for once in the life, the Chicago team not listening to the fans because they've given Billy Donovan a shot there. And the thing is, I'm not sure if it stays or not, but that team had to build and build and build and build hard because they had Jim Boylan and Fred Hoiberg before that, and Gar Hurd and John Paxson, and they started out well, but then they did an unnecessary rebuild, which was they did a rebuild right after an Eastern Conference final. They basically did a rebuild after that. They had Jimmy Butler, they lost him. It's like all these. It's like they did it unnecessary. It was ridiculous, and it was so stupid. It's like I remember when Jim Boylan called a timeout in the middle of a fast break, his own. He called the timeout in the middle of his own fast break, and it's like the team. It's like you're stepping on. That's one. That's stupid. Number two, you're stepping on eggshells all the time. And what do you do? And it's obvious that he was screaming and no one's listening to him. And it's like, and in truth, you can be an assistant coach. In truth, even as bad as he was, they led the league. They were top 5 in steals and led the league in blocks. So he does have a defensive scheme, but he was so bad as a head coach, I don't see him around anywhere. Yeah. And I don't see him around anywhere. Maybe he's somewhere I don't know, but that's the whole thing. And so Billy Donovan, when he came in, he literally had to start building from scratch. And it's not just roster. It's literally saying that you can go make mistakes. Mm-hmm. You can go make some mistakes a little bit. We're not going to be there right away. I understand this completely. Things that you had meltdowns, so we got to get you little by little. And now it's like we're in this type of thing. It's like they had to start from somewhere. And then the last couple of years have been in the play-in playoffs. You know what I mean? In the play-ins and stuff. Haven't won those, but they got to a final this time at the play-in. So it's like it's kind of going up a ladder a little bit.
I hope for Chicago fans that this continues because
Josh Giddey looks excellent, but please quit comparing him to Jordan like the idiot fans are.
Yeah,
quit doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't compare to Jordan. You can't compare LeBron to Jordan. I'm saying it's not the talent. It's not anything. Michael Jordan has a brain that you study when he dies. It is. It's just Larry Bird might be the same way. It's like, why do you think they went to 4 straight finals?
Yeah.
I mean, that's 100 games a year. I mean, why do you think they did? I mean, how do you keep that motivated that long and that psychotically motivated? I mean, okay, Matt Bird, Magic, and Michael. It was 8 out of 10 years for Magic. Let's see, 5. I'm trying to think. 5 out of 8 for Bird. Jordan won 6 in a row, and then they got to that. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. It is more than that. Is the thing with the finals and waking it all. Can Oklahoma City do it this year? Again, stuff like that. You never know. They're good, but remember, it's not just 82 games. Once you make that final, that's 100 games.
Yeah.
And imagine doing, and it's like Golden State did it in this era. 100 games, 100 games, 100 games, 100 games, 100 games. And it's like over and over. And it's like that, and especially with the athletics that it is now, that is unbelievable. And you have to be that good. And that's what fans don't get when they get all that. It's not just the 82 games. Getting that far is a mental state.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Oklahoma City does.
Well, can
In
I bring up
fall.
something about Chicago? That's another thing Donovan's going to have to do. Donovan made a final with Oklahoma
Hmm.
City. He made a final. Even though he's been there once, he knows what that thing is. So that's another battle he's going to have with this Bulls. These Bulls weren't even born when the Bulls were a dynasty. So
Yeah.
none of them were. So this is another thing that they're going to have to, another thing that he's going to have to do with this team. It's literally next. Okay, now you've made the playoffs. Okay, you're in the second round. What, are you? Oh, you're tired. It's like, and then say they lose, to Milwaukee or whatever, and that's gonna be like, now you're tired. Now it's the next level, and you did. These are things that you didn't have to tell Michael Jordan, but this is a new world.
Yeah. Let's talk about my Blackhawks, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Not too terrible. They're middle of the pack. I see improvement. I see better cohesion. I see better chemistry. Do I think they're going to make the playoffs this year? Hey, look, anything's
Well,
possible.
better. They're better off. They're better off than my Blues are right now. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Blues are next to last everywhere, but yeah, there's a possibility. But remember what I was saying. It's like when they brought in that goalie last year. We were talking about that when they brought in that goalie last
Mm-hmm.
year. It's like you look for some kind of momentum of any type. They were only like 1 or 2 under 500 after they got the guy. So it's like sometimes it's that youth. Sometimes it's that the energy of that youth when it's later in the year. Then there's something to work with. You know what I mean? It's really overall. I mean, what would you say is their biggest strength right now? The Blackhawks.
To be honest with you, I would probably. They still need help defensively. I still say their strength is offense because defensively, they're still going to need a couple of pieces.
And that's remember the Blackhawks won 3 Stanley Cups. They won 3 Stanley Cups, and then one of the things about it is everybody keeps one. And it's like the one thing about Belichick. I'm going to say this from the Belichick for the Patriots. One thing that he kept doing is he kept getting rid of the players to reload his teams to go to Super Bowls. The Blackhawks kept trying to keep the same players and reload with different guys that were older, and that's the biggest difference. And they just kept falling apart. And
Yeah.
that's the big thing. The one thing that there's too much loyalty in a lot of times, and it's like sometimes you just have to know when to be able to let go so you can reload to keep the thing going. It's like remember they had 3 Stanley Cups. I'm trying to think
It's in 3 and
in the
5
three
years.
11, 13, and
Yeah.
15. 11, 13, and
Yeah.
15. And it's like they had those in the 3. That's 3 in 5 years, and they had that. But then it only lasted quote unquote 5. It's because they kept trying to keep the same pieces with reloaded. I mean, that were aging instead of getting rid of pieces that needed to be so you can reload with younger guys to keep it going. And that's and that's what happened to the Red Wings too. That's what happened to the Red Wings, and it's like Eisman's still at the Red Wings, right?
I think he's still in the front office. Yeah.
Yeah. People are mad because Eisman hadn't done everything right away. That's another Billy Donovan situation there,
Right.
and it's another Billy Donovan situation. It's like, I mean, things are just so destroyed that you really almost have to get it piece by piece. You have to get that house piece by piece. I mean, remember what Eisman did with the Tampa? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if he hasn't made a playoff yet. If I was in that front office, I'm giving him a 10-year contract to take this. He got there. I'm going to have I don't care what the fans say. I have an understanding that he got them there, and this has been a disaster in Detroit. So you got to work with it.
Yeah. Couple more things. I'll get you out of here. Do you follow college football at all?
Well, what do you think?
I would say you're a connoisseur of every sport.
Just go right ahead. I mean, if you have
What,
here's the deal. Here's the deal. If you ever talk women's soccer, give me 5 minutes and I'll get it figured out.
I don't put any stock into it just because it's going to keep changing. But what was your initial reaction to the college football playoff rankings when they came out?
Well, good job for Indiana being number 2. But I like Cincinnati. And it's like, And if they lose to Ohio State again, then they lose to Ohio State again. That's not my point. That team is just, he might be off the wall, like you've told me, might be off the wall, but that team will never not, as long as he's around there and does everything, that team will never not win 10-11. It just won't. They're too disciplined.
Yeah.
I mean, they creamed Oregon. I mean,
I was there.
That's a tough thing to do. It's a rough thing to do, and it's like, by the way, speaking of Oregon, I think Iowa and Oregon's gonna get very, very interesting because you have a struggling offense facing that ridiculous defense. That defense is that. If I mean, it really, I'm just going off pace here. If Iowa understood for 1 second to quit acting old, and I'm talking about parents, if they understood that for 1 second, keep their defense as it is, with Phil Parker, do all this stuff, and they just learn to go get an offensive guru, they would be so dangerous because that defense is. I mean, they score 40 points with like 180 yards a game.
Yeah.
I mean, they went 37-0. They had 175 total yards. It's like they're just their defense is all over the place. It's ridiculous. They get all short fields. It's like it makes you want. It's like, yeah, they won 8 games last year. Most of the time, it's 9-11, and then a high bowl game, and then it's like you can't beat that part. But it's like that's the problem with acting old. You got at some point you got to be able to get into the guru side. There has to be someone out there to be able to do that, and you can't just keep running the ball and just giving it off to the tight end all the time. They're great for the NFL, but
well, I mean, the last 5-6 years they haven't had a quarterback. They haven't been able to dip into the portal. I said before, if they had a quarterback like Fernando Mendoza for Indiana, if they had a quarterback like him every year or every other year, Iowa would do some damage. They really would. With the defensive prowess that they have on that side of the ball, if they just had a quarterback like maybe a Fernando Mendoza, they'd make some more noise. But I'm picking Iowa to beat Oregon this weekend, actually.
Well, here's the thing with Iowa. You talk about damage. They can make they only can give the damage that they can give. They will. They can win out. Don't get that wrong. They can with that defense. They can win out. If Ohio State gets upset in one game, Iowa's going against Indiana in the B1G title game. If it's one, but guess what? Indiana will just destroy them because they are so darn disciplined. It's ridiculous. But that's the thing. It's like it wouldn't shock me if they got to that B1G title game. Because I mean, yeah, Ohio State's definitely going to make it. But I'm saying it wouldn't shock me if there was an upset and they just the underhanded get there, just because they've got that. But there isn't any kind of playoff. Any of those guys that put the playoffs things together that want Iowa in it. They don't. It's because I am telling you right now, it is like putting the Steelers in the playoffs. It's like you have to beat the crap out of the Steelers to get them out of there. Because if there's any 13-10 score, Tomlin will win it. He will win the Super Bowl off 13-10. He just doesn't care. He knows how to win those games. And it's like, which means you have to wipe him out. That's the same with Kirk Ferentz. You have to beat the crap out of him to get rid of him. You can't let that get close. The last close game I saw him lose was Minnesota 2 years ago. That was that one with Cooper DeJean with that run back that they called back. That was the last close game. I mean, when it gets down to that defense and a grind, they don't lose.
Before I get you out of here, what are you looking for in the second half of the NFL season?
Well, it's going to get tougher on the playoffs. It's going to get tougher on the deal once the Giants and Browns get out of the way for the Bears. So we're going to see truthfully where they're at that point in time. We're going to see truthfully because they're going on the road with some very tough teams. So personally, when I saw this schedule, I said to myself, I put it on there. I didn't think they'd win a game on the road. I was wrong, but I didn't think they'd win. I said the thing. I didn't think they'd win a game on the road because it's like, you know what I mean, with all those players. But boy, he does surprise me. There's no question about it. I just wish he didn't troll the world with that ridiculousness. But I'll tell you, 27 straight games. I can't blame it. I mean, I mean, Jay Cutler was the last full-time quarterback, and he didn't come close to that. So
Yeah.
I'll give him. He's got a certain toughness. My worry is if things go bad again, will he be able to come back through it? You know, because the last time that was things go. I mean, like in college, and then this first year when things were going bad, he loses his confidence. Will he find his confidence and keep it when things go bad? And things can, with a couple of those tough teams. So those are just the thing I'm looking at. And as far as the rest of the season, I like Denver. Really, I like Bo Nix. I wanted Bo Nix on the Bears, or Jane Daniels, as I was saying. I like Bo Nix. It's because he has this current era John Elway in him. He's got a good. I mean, when things go bad, he'll still go for them. He'll still sling it. He'll throw a pick a game, but then he's not afraid to sling it. And
ladies,
and that's it.
Go ahead.
And that's the thing. I love Knicks. I mean, there's going to be some new teams. I don't think Baltimore makes the playoffs. I don't think there's going to be some new teams around. Like Denver made the playoffs last year. They might win the division this year. They might have
I said Kansas City's not making the playoffs. I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. They're not making the playoffs. Well, I fully believe.
Or if they do, they're number 7. Or if they do, they're number 7. Yeah, it's like
they're not going to win the division.
They're not going to have a home playoff game for once.
No,
they're not. And it's like they see. But I say this about Kansas City. I say this about every team, and Philly, and everybody. Everybody worries if Philly loses games. When you have played guess what? That's 20 games a year, as many times as Kansas City's made it. That's 20 a year, 19 a year. When you're that many times and that kind of stuff, you are a target. You're a target. Kansas City's a target. And Kansas City's a target. It was constantly going to be a target. Philly's getting to that target level. And and the thing was, Green Bay, they're struggling in offense all year long. It's because the last 2 or 3 years they've won 14 games.
Yeah.
And they won 14 games. Then they've lost in the NFC title game or whatever the thing is. But their offense was awesome. It's struggled because the defense is ready for them. And those are the things that people don't understand. That's why I don't do. That's why I get into it, fights with fans, and I get all this. I mean, you've seen the deal on there. That's why I get into that thing. They don't understand. Guess what? They're a target. I mean, Jalen Hurts. I mean, he struggled a little bit with the deal and stuff like that, but he had a team behind him. And I mean, when you have a team behind you, you can be able to learn. This is what I wish. I'm going to bring up college again. It's what I wish Arch Manning would do. I wish he'd stay another year. Because to me, he's going to be right behind that Texas defense. Let him learn. Let him learn, play another year, then dominate the next year. I don't think it's going to happen because too many people. I mean, remember who's the guy on the Drew Pilar or whatever on Penn State?
Oh, Drew Aller for Penn State.
Aller, thank you, Aller. Yeah, Drew Aller, he did the same. He went for the exact same thing, got hurt. And then he had a terrible year to begin with. So he dropped down. So the Arch could drop. So I don't think he's going to, but I wish he would. I wish he'd literally have a just nothing but a camp with his uncle and their 2 uncles, we'll say. Have it nothing but and just learn how to be able to and stuff like that. The pressure, be able to play on a pro level and play the next year. And I think if he stayed healthy, I think he'd dominate. But this year is go behind that Texas team and learn. But he's going to go into the pros too early. He's going to go too early and stuff like that, and he's going to struggle.
Just like Anthony Richardson. It's like the Florida quarterback.
He was never good. At least he was good. At least Arch is good somewhere. Anthony Richardson has never been good. He's an athlete.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Jacob Christner. Jacob, tell the people where they can see you, read material, XYZ.
Well, I mean, you'll see me on Facebook where I never say my opinion ever. But I mean, I'm on Sideline One Sports. I run the Sideline One Sports on TikTok. That's what I run. It's like I'll put some content on there and everything like that. And we're starting to grow. We're slowly starting to grow the deal, which is nice. And then I am on Sideline Sports. It's a show called Top Rope Talk. I'm on Monday nights. I'm on Confidential on Wednesdays. That's We're off season on baseball now. And then I'm on South Florida Tribune for the Sports Exchange with Scott Morganroth. So I just, and then plus I get guest spots with you and about the 10 others. So I'm
happy. Jacob, thanks for coming on. You're always welcome to come on anytime you want to, my friend.
Oh, no problem. Feel free. I appreciate you, man.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Take care.
Jacob CHRISTNER, ladies and gentlemen. Always a good friend to the show. Always an encyclopedia of knowledge. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the Bears. Anything is possible. They're 5-3. I didn't expect them to be 5-3. So, some news and notes from around the world of sports today. Antonio Brown was arrested in Dubai on an attempted murder charge, although he says it was self-defense. He was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. He was flown to Essex County, New Jersey, where he's being held pending extradition to Miami. Miami police spokesman Mike Vega said. We'll have to keep an eye on it. He's been on the run for about 6 months. I don't know if he was on the run, but this has been an ongoing thing for like 6 months, and now I guess he's finally in custody. Cubs outfielder Kyle Tucker is among 13 to get $22 million qualifying offer. It was reported by Jeff Passan of ESPN. Other notable players who have been tagged tendered Toronto Blue Jays shortstop Bo Bichette, Houston Astros left-hander Framber Valdez, San Diego Padres right-hander Dylan Cease, Phillies right-hander Ranger Suarez, New York Mets closer Edwin Diaz, Detroit Tigers baseman Gleyber Torres, Milwaukee Brewers right-hander Brandon Woodruff, Arizona Diamondbacks right-hander Zach Gallen, Cubs left-hander Shota, I'm going to butcher it, Shota Amananga, Padres right-hander Michael King, New York Yankees outfielder Trent Grisham. If you really want to know, the qualifying offer, which allows teams to reap draft pick compensation for free agents to sign with new teams, is set by averaging the top 125 salaries in Major League Baseball, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what else from around the world of sports. Oh, by the way, we are on the Cole County Entertainment Network. Coming up at 8 o'clock, go check out my man Fuji. Another Phillies Fuji Flare. Oh, why did it do that? Phillies Fuji's Flare. Fuji's Philly Flare for our English-speaking friends. Jesus Christ. That'll be on at 8 o'clock on the Cole County Entertainment Network. Ex-player, NBA player Damon Jones has pled not guilty in a gambling case. This is reported by the Associated Press. Jones said he acknowledged that he read both indictments and that he understood the charges and his bail conditions, which include his mother and stepfather putting up their Texas home as collateral for a $200,000 bond that will allow him to remain free pending trial. So he has pled not guilty. Go figure. But we'll go through the due process. Sad news in the world of the NFL. Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland took his own life in an apparent suicide. He was only 24 years old. Reported by Todd Archer of ESPN. I'll just read you here. According to Frisco, Texas Police, the department responded to assist the Texas Department of Public Safety with locating a vehicle that evaded troopers during a pursuit that entered the city at approximately 10:30 p.m. Central Time last night. DPS troopers found Nealon's vehicle crashed on southbound Dallas Parkway near Warren Parkway. According to the report, Nealon fled the scene on foot, and officers searched the area with help from K9 and drone units. Approximately 3 hours later, Nealon was found with what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. During the course of the search, officers received information that Nealon expressed suicidal ideations, according to the report. Again, you just never know. If somebody is struggling, the kid had the rest of his life to look forward to in the NFL, making decent money. But for some odd reason, he had demons. It's something, it's sad that you never want to see. Thoughts and prayers out and condolences to his family and friends. As I've said before, Luke Fickell, the AD for Wisconsin, said he'll return for the 2026 season. I don't know why. It's just torture. But I don't know what the buyout is. But that's maybe one of the reasons why he's coming back. Again, 3 seasons in Wisconsin, he's 15-14. 15-19, I'm sorry. And here you go. Fickell's deal runs through the 2031 season. If he were to have been fired this year, he'd have been owed more than $25 million. So again, I'm sure the Wisconsin AD took a look at it, said, nope. We learned lessons from Penn State, Auburn, Florida. No, we're not paying the buyout. So we'll bring him back. Let's see. Let's go to the association. Scores from yesterday. Cavaliers beat the 76ers 132-121. For the 76ers, Tyrese Maxey, 27 points. Quentin Grimes off the bench, 27 points. Andre Drummond added 13 rebounds. Joel Embiid did not play. We'll figure. For the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell with 46 points. Jared Allen added 10 rebounds. College football tonight. Texas, San Antonio, and South Florida about to kick it off. The Pistons beat the Jazz 114-103. The Jazz, your leading scorer was Svi Mikhailuk. Yusuf Nurkic, 17 rebounds. For the Pistons, your leading scorer was Cade Cunningham. Jalen Duren added 22 rebounds. Nets beat the Pacers. Pacers continue to struggle. That's the Nets' first victory. It was 112-103. Pacers are sort of having a hangover from last year's NBA championship series. South Florida just picked off the first pass of the game. They ran it back for a touchdown. 6-0. For the Nets, Michael Porter Jr., 32 points. He had 11 rebounds. For the Pacers, your leading scorer was Pascal Siakam with 23 points. He also had 10 assists. Jeremiah Robinson Earl added 15 rebounds. The Celtics beat the Wizards 136-107. Oh, excuse me, I'm cramping up here. Leading scorer for the Wizards, Alex Sarr, 31 points. And for the Celtics, me just a second here as I got a cramp in my leg. Jalen Brad at 35 points. Nemanja Sketa, 12 rebounds for the Celtics. The Knicks beat the Timberwolves 137 and 114. As soon as my Verizon pad updates itself, it's buffering. We don't like buffering. I don't like buffering. Buffering blows. And of course, it's still going to buffer. So I might have to ditch the NBA. Still trying to do its thing. Might have to go to my phone. I want to give you some stats. Again, it's doing its thing. So I am going to have to resort. Oh, here we go. I said the Knicks beat the Timberwolves. For the Timberwolves, your leading scorer was Julius Randle with 32. For the Knicks, Karl Anthony Towns, 15 points, 10 rebounds. Rockets beat the Grizzlies 124 to 109. For the Rockets, leading scorer was Amen Thompson, 28 points. He added 10 rebounds. Alvin Seguin added 16 rebounds. For the Memphis Grizzlies, your leading scorer was John Morant with 17. Sorry, Cam Spencer with 19. The Pelicans beat the Mavericks 101 to 99. For the Pelicans, your leading scorer was Sadiq Bey with 22 points. For the Mavericks, your leading scorer was Cooper Flagg with 20. PJ Washington added 11 rebounds. Nuggets beat the Heat 122 to 112. For the Heat, your leading scorer was Andrew Wiggins with 22 points. 22 points. Norman Powell with 23 points. Denver Nuggets, your leading scorer was Nikola Jokic. He had a triple-double. 33, 15, and 16. Lakers beat the Spurs 118 to 116. For the Spurs, they had 7 players in double figures. For the Lakers, your leading scorer was Luka Doncic with 35. He had 13 assists, DeAndre 8 and 10 rebounds. The Trailblazers beat the Thunder, handing the Thunder their first loss, 121-119. For Oklahoma City, your leading scorer was Shea, 35 points. Isaiah Hartenstein added 11 rebounds. Portland, your leading scorer was Denny Avdija, 26 points. He also had 10 rebounds. Kings beat the Warriors 121 to 116. A lot of starters did not play for the Warriors. Leading scorer was Will Richard with 30 points. For the Kings, Russell Westbrook had 16 boards and 10 assists. Leading scorer was DeMar DeRozan, 25 points. There's only one game on the slate today. Don't forget the NFL game tonight. Now let's jump to the NHL real quick, shall we? Scores from yesterday. Maple Leafs over the Mammoth 5-3. Capitals over the Blues 6-1. Flames over the Blue Jackets 5-1. Blackhawks 5-2. Sharks over the Kraken 6-1. Games tonight. End of the first. Senators up on the Brewers 1-0. Blues up on the Sabres in the first 1-0. Canadians Devils end of the first 1-1. In the first, Wild and the Hurricanes in a wild one 2-2. In the first, Penguins over the Capitals 1-0. Later on, Flyers at the Preds, Ducks at the Stars, Lightning at the Golden Knights, Panthers at the Kings. Again, NCAA football on right now. South Florida up on Texas San Antonio 7-0. Also, Georgia Southern is up on Appalachian State 6-0 in the first. Again, NFL game on the night. Vegas at Denver, forget about it. This will be a bloodbath. Denver big. Denver huge. It's going to be bigly. And then the two other things I wanted to do before I roll out of here. English Premier League predictions, as I do every week. Full table. See what kind of fixtures we have this week. This Saturday, that'll be November 8th if you're keeping score. Uh, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Peacock. Tottenham's going to host Man United. I am going to go 1-1 draw. 10 a.m. USA Network and Universal. Everton is hosting Fulham. I'm going to go 2-2. $10 a.m. Peacock. West Ham is hosting Burnley. I'm going to go 1-1. 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the USA Network and Universal. Sunderland hosts Arsenal. I'm going to go Arsenal 3, Sunderland 0. 3 p.m. on NBC and Universe. Chelsea hosting Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton in a whole bit of hurt here. I'm going to go Chelsea 2, Wolverhampton 0. Sunday's fixtures, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the USA Network. Aston Villa hosts Bournemouth. I'm going to go 1-1 draw. 9 a.m. on Peacock. Brentford hosts Newcastle United. I'm going to go Brentford 1, Newcastle 0. 9 a.m. on Peacock. Crystal Palace is hosting Brighton. This could be a defensive struggle. I'll go 0-0. 9 a.m. on Peacock. Nottingham Forest hosting Leeds. I'll go Leeds 2, Nottingham Forest 1. 11:30 a.m. on USA Net. Man City hosting Liverpool. I will go 2-2 draw. So, I hope everybody enjoys this weekend's action, whether it's college football, the NFL, college basketball starting to kick off, NHL, the NBA. Just enjoy it. There's only 3 weeks left of friggin' Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. 3 weeks. What are you thankful for this year? As per what happened down in Dallas with Marshawn Nealon, again, suicide hotline. If you're thinking you're struggling with something and you're thinking about doing something, for God's sakes, please call somebody. Get help. As I say at the end of every show, practice compassion, practice empathy. There's not enough of it in the world. Have passion for what you do. Hug somebody every once in a while. You might make their day. Tell somebody you love them. You might not get a second opportunity. And for God's sakes, if you see somebody struggling in any sort of fashion, any sort of manner, you know they say they're all right, and you know that there's something wrong, inquire, ask questions. You might not just be saving a life. You might be saving many other lives in the process. So again, enjoy this weekend's festivities. There's only one thing left to do. That's for Dandy Don. take me out.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.